so they were out there having putting contests, and what a great way to spend time together. Over again at the 17th, this is Tom Lehman playing with his son Sean. You see the big knee brace on Sean, in case you weren't with us earlier on Peacock. That due to a high school football injury. Yeah. So Dad jars it there. They get to 10, and we go back to the 13th.
Well, in Tiger Woods, they don't spend a lot of time on technique, but let's look at their technique side by side. You can see Charlie opens the club plays a little quicker on the backswing, but look at the width right there on the way back. You'll see at the top, little firmer hands for Charlie. Tiger drops the club in under a little bit. And then both really use their lower bodies. Big rotation, beautiful balance. And I'm sure that's something, Tiger being kind of an old school swing. Then look at the footwork between Justin Thomas on the left and Charlie on the right. Very similar there, using the ground as a force. And you know that Charlie Woods takes a lot from not only being around his father Tiger, but also practices and plays a lot of golf with Justin Thomas.
And his father, who is another set of eyes, in fact, on Charlie Woods' swing. So he's been influenced by not only his dad in this group, but Mike Thomas, a PGA professional who's taught millions of lessons and, of course, has been his son's only teacher. Back to 17, Jimmy.
Here's Matt Kuchar on the tee, leading group. The one-shot lead over the Singh family. Oof. Squeezes it in between the flag and that water over there.
And Gregory Norman, son of the Shark, for birdie at the last. And it's a good day for the Normans. They're in with a 61. And again, that should be surpassed by some teams, but nothing takes place playing with your kid like Greg has so many times in this championship. Back at 13.
Mike Thomas now for birdie. You know, we talked about what Tiger must be feeling. I wonder what Mike Thomas is feeling, because he raised a son who was a very talented golfer from a very, very young age, and now he's getting to see it from a distance as well. And now Justin.
And he got a great look, standing about 6 or 7 paces behind Mike, so got an eye-level look at this break, so he knows exactly what has to happen here. They've worked their way up the leaderboard the last 3 holes.
3 birdies in a row. Well, before just slides by on the left, so a par. And Noda, Charlie now for the birdie, and you've known this young man for, I would imagine, all his life, and he just seems just remarkably composed out here in front of all these people.
Well, he's just been around it his whole life. You know, he's seen how his dad's worked his magic over the years, and you know, all kids have a tendency to emulate their parents, and he's as far as the golf's concerned, really had someone to look up to in terms of how to conduct himself on the golf course.
Not going to be happy with that one, but we'll assume that Tiger's learned something from it. So the Woods at 8 under.
Well, I also think it helps Charlie's comfort level playing with Justin and Mike Thomas, because they do practice a lot, spend a lot of time together in Florida, and obviously he's having a lot of fun being out there. You witnessed it leaving that little note in the bunker there.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. The Woods team off to a scorching start. 6 birdies and an eagle on the front side, but pretty much stalled in neutral since. Let's see if you can get him jump started there. So disappointing par for Team Woods here at 13. Meanwhile, over at the par 3 17th, Cameron Kuchar, who a week ago was caddying for his father at the event in Naples, in which his dad and Harris English set a scoring record. Now he gets an opportunity to actually swing the clubs and not just carry it.
So the Normans in with a 61. That should be eclipsed shortly as the Kuchars have it to 12 under with a couple of holes left. And if you followed the Kuchars and their story around, opportunity here at the 18th to pick up a closing birdie, maybe they can chip it in here for eagle to par 5.
And just a little bit on the upslope there. Can use a square club face. Nicely done.
Dad's only hit about 1 million of those shots in his career. So they're going to have a birdie there for sure. And back at 14, Jackie Langer-John playing with her father Bernhard, who was going to defend with Jason. They won it last year, but Jason got hurt playing tennis, tweaked his back, and the first alternate is Jackie, Bernhard's daughter, who is ready to roll. She's got an 8-month-old son named Jackson. So
exactly, the shorter
a family affair. There is Joe the Fourth, Joe LaCava's son, on the bag of Charlie Woods. So
right bunker isn't the end of the world.
His dad on Tiger's bag.
Runs out.
Yeah, Tiger's motioning to Charlie to go ahead and play. We talk about the strategy here. It's and Tiger doesn't really. If Charlie can hit a good drive, Tiger really doesn't need to hit because he can get it so far up there. Tiger couldn't really reach it.
Yeah, the tees that Charlie's playing, it's 142 yards shorter here. So as long as Charlie hits something resembling solid and straightish, I have a feeling they're definitely going to use his drive. Seems to like it.
Yeah, I think he did, and for good reason.
Thumbs up. How good is that? That ball wasn't even close to landing before he gave him the thumbs up.
When you pick the tee up before the ball hits the ground, it's a good indication.
Here it is.
He gave the thumbs up before he even knew that it flew the bunker. He knew it was going to.
We're okay, Dad. Charlie, you got us? Okay.
Yep, you got it.
I'll take this driving hole off. It's so good. We'll talk about the GOAT, Annika Sorenstam, over at 16.
Yeah, her second shot from just inside the penalty area. Her father, Tom, missed the green right, so pressure on, no problem. How many pressure situations has she handled in her career? Quite a few en route to 72 wins.
There's her husband, Mike, pulling her out of the penalty area there.
To 18.
Little tap-in birdie for Cass. Takes advantage of the nice little chip. And so the Sings end up with a birdie. And they are in with a 60, so they take over the lead from the Normans in the clubhouse. Again, all sorts of teams, including the Kuchers, who are at that number right now with 2 holes left. Ready to surpass him. Price is in that group as well, finishing up.
And Dan, over at 17, this is Cameron Kuchar, and this would be for birdie and the outright lead. Does it have enough? Oh, yes, sir.
How about that casual pickup of the marker?
Yeah, no big deal. I got this, Dad. Don't sweat it. Want to take a little bit of the weight off Dad's back? 13-year-old. What's smoother than a 13-year-old's putting?
Brew and the players staying over there at the Ritz on the tee. Par 5 18th. The Kuchers. Matt. Bones?
Yeah, coming off that fantastic birdie at 17.
Thank you.
Matt looking to just peel one off the penalty area that runs up the left side. And that is ideal, and we'll give Cameron a chance to blast one when he gets up to his tee box.
And back at the other par 5 in this back 9, Mike Thomas next to go.
Well, Thomases are looking at 282 to the hole, and the Woods are a much closer 206 thanks to Charlie Woods' drive.
This looks like a driver off the deck, Noda.
Yeah, and that's a tough shot even for a seasoned PGA Tour pro, and it just caught the ground and was lucky to scurry through the Kikuya area there, and it ended up about 150 yards up in the fairway.
That kept you on your toes out there, Noda.
It did. It squeezed right by me there. So
you did a little dancing.
Felt like a shortstop.
282.
Wind is a little hurt, Justin, so it's going to take a good effort here, even for JT. I think he can get there, but he's going to have to catch it solid.
Yeah, and with his short game, his father Mike has a good short game. Even at that front right bunker to this right hole location is not a bad position to be in.
Oh, God.
And this is left, headed toward the water.
Wow.
Which would take a great strike or just a little bit left and just hit it on the green and then let Dad go for it. And it's got to get up just a bit.
Okay, well, that's not a terrible option there. And it was right on line once again, like he's been all day long.
All right, back over to the tee at 18. Now Cameron's turn from a little ways up.
Dad's in play. Go ahead and let one eat here. Pull it up the left edge, and that is swimming.
All right, so Matt's ball will play their next at that closing par 5. Currently in the lead by 1 as we shift back to Tiger.
And Justin, you heard Tiger remark at the end of Charlie's shot, good shot. That's sort of where he wanted to put it on that upslope that you were talking about. Pretty simple bunker shot from there. Now Tiger can go right at this. This is just a tiny fade 5-iron, trying to get it close to that back right shelf.
Yeah, nice play there. Have an eagle putt.
And they made an eagle earlier in the round, courtesy of young Charlie, who hit all 3 of the shots, ending with a putt at the par 5. Tom Lehman's third shot at the par 5 18th, looking to improve on that 10 under score.
Plenty of green to work with. Get it to release just a little bit.
There you go.
Nicely done.
Think they can handle that one. Should be a birdie finish for he and his son Sean.
And Dan, this just a moment ago at 17. This is 79-year-old Tom Sorenstam, father of Annika, with a lengthy birdie putt. Sorenstam team, it's 6 under par. Make it 7. How about that for Dad? You weren't with us earlier. We mentioned that he's 79 and plays golf every single day. Lives in the Orlando area. 14.
And Justin Thomas from 137 with his third.
Plenty of room over that right green side bunker. Just a wedge. Should be able to stop this pretty quickly.
And that's more like Justin after he put that other shot wide into the water. So it'll be a birdie look for Team Thomas.
And back at 17 again, this is Sean O'Meara, 31 years old, son of Mark O'Meara. Opportunity for birdie here for Sean. Beautiful. Why not? How about that? So a couple of nice birdies here at the 17th to 9 under par, a few back of the lead.
That's a great scene. Well, numerous charities benefiting from this tournament as we now take a look at how PNC is dedicated to America's youngest children for great things. And do the honors here, and he does with that big knee brace on his left leg. He is going to have surgery here at the end of the month. But the doctor said it's okay. You can go out there and play, put a brace on, and enjoy the weekend with your father. The Lehman's in with a 61. Okay, so big moment here for Tiger and Charlie. They've got an eagle look, Noda.
Yeah, and it's coming from the relatively flat part of this green. Tiger managed to get it just hole high. So being able to assess the speed should be pretty simple, and there's just a subtle left to right movement. And so this is a very makeable putt from this range.
Yeah, we just saw Tiger pointing to a spot maybe 6 to 8 inches outside the left edge.
Yeah, and it's one of those putts, Justin, very gradual break, very predictable. So easy read, just got to match up that speed.
Tiger said it looked good right off the club, and it was. That looks like it was going to go down.
That was just perfect pace and almost perfect line.
Foursome of stars. Now Tiger for the eagle. Just got it out there a little too far. Should be a birdie for the woods. 18 we go, and Cameron Kuchar is on the way.
Just hitting a slider up the right side, just leaving a good angle for their third. Plenty of green to work with, and Matt now can take dead aim at the center of the green.
Boy, Cameron leaves nothing back, does he? He just takes a huge rip at it. Hat goes off about every other shot.
He does, and he does it all very quickly, too. He doesn't waste any time.
Back at 14, just a little formality for the Woods' latest birdie, and Team Woods moves it to 9 under, their first birdie since they closed with one of 6 they made on the opening 9 to go along with Charlie's eagle at the third. And now Matt Kuchar back at 18, Bones.
267 total. No bargain here to knock this on the green in 2. He's got to hit a solid fairway wood. Hold it up against this left to right wind. Anything on the putty surface will be a very good good shot. Double cross. This one's going to sleep with the fishes.
Well, he's got cam shot to deal with over there, so they can still pick up a closing birdie. And back over to the Thomases at 14. Mike, Dad has already missed one for birdie, so Justin Thomas with an opportunity.
Yeah, big putt here. Got out of the gates on this second 9 with 3 consecutive birdies, and now struggling here. Going to need Justin to bail him out.
Got it.
Come on, dude.
Nicely done. Birdie for the Thomases. They move to 9 under. And they have caught the woods at that number after it looked like Charlie and Tiger might leave them in the dust.
All right, we've been spending a lot of time with the youngest player in the field. This is the oldest player, the 9-time major champion Gary Player, who tells us that he is playing great.
Of course he is, Jimmy.
You know, he says his goal. Look at this. Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you, Jimmy.
Well, I guess we ought to believe him. He says his goal is to shoot 18 under his age. He shot 16 under his age twice. He is the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps on going, and with a smile on his face. We'll be right back.
First from the fairway here. Just something cautious up the right side. Gave Dad a chance to go for it. Now they're pitching back into the wind, but this isn't going to get there. Just a little bit of a miss hit, but you would think that this should be something that's right up Matt's alley, considering how well he's been playing.
Yeah, you bet. Get to that in a moment. Back on the tee at 15, 458 yards for Tiger.
And that left bunker down there, about 285 yards, so needs to move it just right of that with a little fade.
Yeah, that looked like some good tempo and rhythm there, Justin.
Certainly was.
Back at 18 for Matt.
Looking at a big skip to get the ball back there.
Exactly what he did.
Nicely done. Leaves an uphill putt.